I welcome my viewers to a very special episode, and we are not doing it in a studio. We are under the open sky, and my guest today is Parakala Prabhakar. And Parakala Prabhakar, he was here to deliver the 8th Foundation Day lecture of Northeast Now. So, and we are so happy that he is with us for last few days, and he had also gone to Bhutan. So I welcome you to this special interview, and I want to know. So you did go to Bhutan, and you had also come to Assam earlier. So how is this trip different from your earlier trips?
You forgot to mention that we traveled together from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes, we traveled together. No, he didn't know that I was there.
yeah, that was a surprise because when I got into the flight, settled down, and when I saw somebody coming and occupying the seat next to me, and then that person said, "I came here to welcome you, to receive you." I said, "Who is this?" And then I saw a book in his hand, and that book was on Wittgenstein.
Yeah.
I had a shock. Who on earth, traveling by an aircraft, reading Wittgenstein, such a serious work? I thought this must be a very special person. And then, of course, although I met you online earlier, but somehow I immediately could not place you.
Yeah, we were not seeing each other, no.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a wonderful pleasure. You see, this year, this is my third trip to Assam.
This year itself.
This year itself. I came once in January to attend a wedding. It was very brief. Then I have been thinking about traveling in Northeast because it's such a fascinating area, fascinating people, fascinating geography, fascinating weather. And we are down in our area, in Andhra Pradesh, in Hyderabad, Telangana. We are not very much aware of the culture, the language, the people, the politics, the topography, history, geography of Northeast much. So I expressed my desire to travel Northeast. I wanted to see all the 7, 8 sisters. So my friend suggested a wonderful travel group run by young people. So they assisted me. I spent 15 days traveling a lot in Assam. Went to parts of Arunachal Pradesh, went to Burma border, seen Patkai range, went to the Chinese border. I've traveled a lot in, Mechuka and places like that, full of snow, even in March. I really enjoyed it. And I tasted food, I spoke to people, I visited a lot of places, visited all the Shankar Dev
Yeah, those monasteries.
monasteries, and then got familiar with the music tradition. Because music was one of the powerful things that they had used.
Yes.
And also went to Majoli. I've traveled quite a lot. But it's not even a small part of the Northeast. So I have to come back again and again. So that was it. And this, of course, you've invited me to deliver a talk on the 8th Foundation Day of NE Now. It was a pleasure. Yesterday, we had a great session. The audience was very engaged, very live to what's happening in the country. So, and of course, my desire to come again and again and see the entire Northeast has only strengthened with all these visits and all these meetings.
That's really great. And since last evening, I have been receiving messages on my phone, and everyone was actually praising the lecture. They were saying good things about the your lecture. So it was really great. Now, my next question is so in while we're traveling, or I do not know when, you said that okay, you till graduation level you studied in Telugu medium, and I also read somewhere that your grounding in Telugu literature is quite deep. So, uh, why do you think that this grounding in one's mother tongue, how does it help, and why is it necessary?
See, if you look at it from the theoretical point of view, a child grows in an environment where a language is heard, a language is spoken, you try to learn, the child learns. Um, you see, the thing is that one tends to pick it up naturally. You don't learn a language in the sense this is the grammar, these are the prepositions, this is how you use it, this is the vocabulary, this is the diction, these are synonyms. You don't learn it that way. You just naturally pick it up. And I think because it's natural, the brain doesn't have to struggle really to learn. There's no split there that you speak something at school and you learn something at school and you come back home and something else is, you think in a different language, you translate that into another language to learn, to write, to speak. So that struggle isn't there.
There is no effort.
There's no effort.
No effort. It's very natural.
Very natural, effortless. It comes to you because you see, it is more oral. You listen to it, and you're tuned to it. Therefore, once the ability of picking up a language naturally is strengthened, then you can apply yourself and learn any language easily. That's one. The second thing is you understand because you're rooted in some place, in some language, in some thinking. You can leap from there. You have a strong base to leap from. You're not rootless. You're not suspended in midair.
You are not in the air, yeah.
You're not suspended in the midair,
Midair.
but you're somewhere grounded. So that helps a lot. That is the reason, perhaps, that although I was introduced to the English language much later in life, graduation means what? I mean, that's 10 plus 2. That is about 5 years you go to the school. After 5 years you go to the school. 10 years you study up to 10th standard. Then 2 years you're intermediate. This is 12 and 5, 17 years, 18 years.
Yeah.
Up till 18 years, I have not made an effort to learn. See, I probably was hearing a cricket commentary or somebody speaking in English. All that is fine. But then, thinking in a different language, writing it in a different language, listening to lectures, my lessons in English language, was only around 17 years of my life, after 17 years of my life. Even though that is much later, I have become so familiar with it, and I could gain a lot of ease in writing and in understanding and in speaking the language. And from there, of course, I developed a liking for languages. Now, I used to be very fluent in French.
French.
Yes.
Okay. Where did you learn it?
I learned when I was in Delhi. I used to go to the Alliance Française.
Okay, in Genu?
In JNU, I started part-time. I used to learn the evening classes, they used to be part-time classes. And then from there, I went to the Alliance Française, the French Language Institute, French Cultural Institute, which they used to teach language classes. So I went there. And after I went to London for my PhD, I had a few French friends. I used to practice speaking to them, and also used to buy French magazines and newspapers, try to read Le Monde Diplomatique and things like that. So, and because I was in London, whenever I got a chance, I used to cross over the channel, English channel, and go to, yes. So, I developed some kind of a liking for the language. I used to be, those days I used to be very fluent in speaking also. Now that fluency is gone because I'm not,
not practicing.
I can read and understand.
You can read.
I can read and understand.
Did you read some of the classics?
Well, you see, it's like this. Reading French fiction without reading them in translation and fully appreciating it becomes very difficult. It takes a lot of time.
Yes.
I didn't put in that much of an effort and time into it. One, but I'm okay.
Communication wise, you are okay.
Yes. I can understand people speak. I can go and manage myself. I can buy things. I can go to a hotel and order some things and maybe get into a bus and buy a ticket and speak to the person or ask for directions. That kind of a thing I can manage. Functional. Then I also, because I developed some liking and interest in languages, I studied the histories of different languages, and my own language, of course, my own language, my mother tongue, Telugu language and script, and how the script evolved, and classical poetry, modern poetry, the traditional way of writing poetry, and then works of different poets, classical poets as well as modern poets. I got interested and started reading. And then, because Telugu has a lot of influence of Sanskrit language, I felt like learning a bit of Sanskrit. So I learned a bit of Sanskrit. I can fairly understand the syntax, I can understand the structure of the grammar. I'm not as much knowledgeable as I would like to be, but I can manage.
So overall, you understand it. You have a good grounding, and it's because you have a liking for language. Then you know the beauty and art of language. That's great. Now we're coming to slowly to a serious aspect of the interview. This regime is in a construction spree. They are demolishing old structures and replacing them with the new ones. I am speaking about the present regime. Everything they are trying to sense everything. Everything. Is the India we were born and familiar with disappearing slowly? What exactly is happening? And what are its implications? The way things are happening all around us. From there, I just formulated this question for you.
Hey, construction is fine, but should construction happen along with or after destroying something? Should there be a destruction? India is a vast country. One need not destroy things in order to construct. You can, if you want to have a wonderful temple, do construct a wonderful temple. Because you see, in Hyderabad, for instance, we have a huge Balaji temple. I mean, somehow it's not called Balaji temple, it's not called Venkateshwar temple, it's called Birla temple. I don't know why.
It's a Birla temple.
you know, I just don't understand this concept of calling something Birla Temple or calling something Babri Masjid. This is a masjid. That is temple. There's no reason for you to attribute that to some individual or some family or some religion, some ruler. We don't have to. These are places of worship. That's all. The second thing is, I think this regime is missing one very vital point of Indian history. Any history is, a continuous process. There is an interesting concept in historical studies. One should keep that in mind, especially when studying ancient lands like ours, or any land is ancient, of course. Civilizations. The concept of palimpsest. Things happen layer after layer after layer after layer after layer. There is no point.
There is a metamorphosis of things.
Yes.
No? It happens in a very natural way.
Because you see, the waves of migration. People have come
You
out
were
of.
reading that book, no? Mamdani book.
Yeah. So, one after the other, on top of the one, on top of one, on top of the other, another on top of the another. This go on. There is an accrual. And if you say that mine was, my golden period was 5,000 years ago, and in between whatever happened, I don't relate myself to it, and I just want to demolish it. I want to take it out and directly go from here to 5,000 years back. I think that's a very, very distorted view of history. So, and the layer before us, I don't like it. The layer before that, I don't like it. I want to dig that out, destroy it, and only this layer today and a layer which was there 5,000 years ago. But if that is the case, why don't you go on and on and on and go back to the African Rift Valley? That is where the entire human race has come out. Yeah. So you want to go back there?
Or is it possible to go back there?
Oh, is it possible? And if you want to go back, where do you want to stop? And why do you want to stop only at that one particular point? So I think we should respect the different layers and learn to make peace with our history, and try to see that, look, we are here and we were there, before that we were there, before that we were there. Respect all these.
And
Live with all this.
how can we change our past?
Yeah.
We can have reading of past. We can try to understand past. We
But
can
you
try
see-
to interpret past. How can we change the past?
And obliterate the past.
Obliterate the past.
I-
Is
I-
it possible?
It's not possible. It is not desirable.
And you were actually, even in modern time now, you see, this Pragati Maidan, those halls, they destroyed, demolished, making them anew. Then I hear that huge thing, Nehru Stadium, they are going to destroy. They are going to build something new. Now, what is this? What are the implications of these things?
This is very agenda-driven, Paresh. They want a part of the history to be physically removed, and removed, of course, from the textbooks, also removed from the minds of the people.
From the imagination of
Yes,
the people.
absolutely. So they just want their version of history, their version of the past, their version of art, their version of architecture. I think this is a very narrow view of our land, our culture, and completely cutting ourselves from the gradual evolution and layer after layer of our progression.
What are the implications? How are these things going to affect us, affect the people?
See, look at India. It's such a unique place. There is no religion in the world which is not represented in India. Every religion has a place here. And along with religion come culture, ways of life, languages. What this regime wants, the implications of the current thinking is that they want to obliterate the diversity of languages, of cultures, of religions, of traditions, of practices, homogenize.
They homogenize everything.
Yes. Ultimately, they want you and me to speak in one language, to look alike, to worship the same gods,
Even to wear the same clothes.
to wear the same clothes, to speak the same tongue, language, and to practice, adopt practices in our daily life, the same kind of practices. This is what they want to do. What these people are thinking now would eventually lead to that kind of a thing. And diversity is beauty.
Here
Whether it is biodiversity, linguistic diversity, the cultural diversity, religious diversity.
it's beauty.
It's beauty.
Beauty.
It's the
No,
richness.
that what happens actually when I go, when I see people on the streets, and when I see, you see, they are dressed up with different attires, different people wearing different dress, and I feel so happy about it. And then it also, you see, its political implication. I said, if tomorrow all these people, they are going to wear the same kind of dress, one kind of dress for the children, one kind of dress for the women, one for the men, how would it look like, and what would what how what would happen?
The essential point that this regime or this ideology is missing is the following. They somehow got into understanding that diversity means differences. Diversity is not differences. It is diverse. It is not dichotomous.
And it is not contradictory. It is not contradictory.
Exactly.
There is no contradiction.
Yes.
Between
It is not either or. It could be both. It could be 4. It could be 5. It could be 6. And they see uniformity as a basis for unity. Unity need not be based on uniformity. Unity could be based on diversity. And it is a wrong thing to look at diversity as dichotomy. Differences are need not be dichotomous. Differences need not be contradictory. Difference doesn't mean contestation. So difference, if you see difference as diversity and build unity on the basis of diversity, then I think India would be India, which has been, it's a land of diversity. It is like the world itself. Now, what they want to do, what the current thing, the implications of, you asked me about the implications. Implications are that they want everybody to be alike, and those people who are not alike are others. They have to be either pushed out
Or
or
they have to be merged. They have to be absorbed.
forcefully, forcefully, forcefully absorbed, or when you can't push them out, it's not practical. If it's not practical, and if you can't absorb them, you want to physically eliminate them. Now, it has happened in history. A lot of genocides took place. You know.
Yeah, now, right at the moment, it's in our eyes.
Yes.
It's happening in Gaza.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. And that is the ideological basis which is ready to be played out in India also. I don't think, whatever is happening, if unchecked, is going to stop here. It will go and take the form of what is happening in Gaza. It might even take the form of what has happened in Hitler's Germany, and it might also take the form of Nagorno-Karabakh, Hungary, these places. So, if you are looking for homogenizing, obliterating the diversity, and say that this nation belongs to only one type of people. If you want to still live here, you can live here, but as a second-class citizen. So that is genocide. Now, the Indian state was formed on a completely different basis. Yesterday also in our lecture I was talking about
you
them.
spoke about it.
You see, the thing is this. When we gained independence, we did not quarrel about who should be the part of our country. Everybody who is here, resident here,
Was
belong to India,
part of the country.
We did not go into what is your religion, what is your caste, what is your race, what is your color, are you educated or not. We've given franchise, universal adult franchise, to start with. The beginning itself, from the word go, was given only here, nowhere else. So that is the India. And now, in the form of, this regime attempted in the CAA and RC, because there is a huge backlash. Now I think that is coming back in the form of SIR, a backdoor. Paresh, in a modern world, in a modern political society, how do I kill you without bloodshed? I can kill you without bloodshed, without really doing physical violence to you, by stripping you of your citizenship right, essentially your franchise. Once you are disenfranchised, you cease to be a citizen, you cease to be a part of a
going to
political
lose
community.
all your rights.
So you are, for all political purposes, you are a dead man, isn't it? So instead of a violent genocide, I call this SIR, what is happening, a peaceful, I don't say peaceful, sorry, I withdraw that, a bloodless political genocide. Nothing short of a genocide, only thing is there is no blood on the carpet. So it is a bloodless political genocide which is being committed now. And this is part of the overall project we are talking about, the obliteration of diversity, and bringing back the old violent traditions of Europe where others are identified. They are told that you don't belong to this community, you don't belong to this state, you don't belong to this nation. You get out. Either you get out or, or tolerate our supremacy, be satisfied with a second class life, political life here, disenfranchised. And if these two are not possible, those days it was possible even to kill. So that is the route on which, that is the path on which this political society now under the present dispensation is going forward.
Actually, that was my next question, but actually, you have already answered the next question, because the next question is, what is the future vision of the present regime? You have answered it. This is another part of this question that you have not answered. The part is this vision feasible? You have said, you have elaborately narrated that what this regime is up to, what they want to do. And the next part was, is it feasible? Given the diversity of our country, is it feasible?
Paresh, I would put this question in a slightly different form to myself. I am not.
There is a mosquito.
I'm not. I won't ask, is it feasible? I would ask, is it desirable?
Is it desirable?
Is it desirable?
But it's not desirable at all.
Yeah. So, if it is not desirable, if somebody attempts to do that, we as people should make it unfeasible.
Yeah. So, okay, I have other questions related to that. So, now, that question will come towards, that answer will come towards the end of the interview. Now, there is in between, there is a question. Why this regime is hell bent on unearthing our mineral and natural resources? What are they up to?
This is a very important question. You see, I think this regime now depends on a very narrow economic base. And because their main agenda is to make this society culturally, religiously, even linguistically homogeneous. And they are whipping up passions in that direction. They do not see that economic equality, equality of opportunity, reduction of poverty as values. And here I have invested some thought into this. You see, because their vision is hierarchy in cultures, hierarchy in religions, hierarchy in languages, hierarchy in practices. They're wedded to a hierarchical society. My religion is better than your religion. My language is better than your language. My culture is better than any other culture. This is, you are ordering the languages, religions, cultures, and practices. You're not looking at them as equal. Therefore, they don't mind looking at the society again in a hierarchical way. When you are wedded to the idea of hierarchy, superior and inferior, you won't have much difficulty in looking at the society as haves and have-nots, superior inferior,
That means
rich
it
and
is
poor.
acceptable.
It's acceptable.
Acceptable.
So what if you accept hierarchy in
In your thoughts.
your thoughts, politically, economically also it's easy for you to
And that
accept.
is what actually you told in your book. This book,
Yeah.
in you refer to Piketty, and then
It is the ideology of
it's the
inequality.
ideology of inequality.
Because you see, inequality is sustained. Social inequality or economic inequality is sustained. Not because people like it, but you are brainwashed to accept it. I'll give you a very simple example. If you're told, look, you're poor because you don't work hard. You're poor because you're of your inability, because you're inefficient, because you're not skilled. It is not society's responsibility.
No environment is responsible for this.
No.
No environment.
So, which means
It's all in you.
individual responsibility.
Individual responsibility.
So, society abdicates responsibility for your well-being or your
You have
health.
explained it so nicely.
So, therefore, what happens is, now you see, a very important person in the economic think tank of this present dispensation, some time ago wrote an article after Piketty's report had come out. The caption of that essay, published in one of the prominent newspapers, is "Don't lose sleep over inequality. Don't worry about it." And you see, the point is this. The point, Pareshji, is that there are a set of political ideas, economic ideas, which are against inequality. Whether their prescriptions result in eliminating inequality or not is a different thing. That could be efficient strategies, inefficient strategies, maybe efficient strategy implemented inefficiently, all that is fine. You can quarrel with it and you can say not that way, not this way. But there is another set of ideas where they argue inequality is actually good. Don't laugh. It's a serious matter. They say this particular set of arguments says, let there be inequality. Let rich people have more resources, and it is justified by showing that they work hard, they are more efficient, they are smarter than you. That's one. The second thing is, if they have riches, they invest, and because of their investment, employment is generated. You and I can work there. This is another. So, which means that equality as a value, whether you are realizing it or not, whether you are making the right effort or not, is a different thing. But here, the alternative is inequality is good. Let there be inequality. Only with inequality you can achieve progress. And that is why you have very eminent personalities who are in the think tank of the present regime, economic think tank of the present regime, who say that don't lose sleep over inequality.
Who was this man?
Professor Arvind Pangaria wrote,
Oh,
don't lose sleep over inequality.
he was there.
It was published in Times of India.
Ah. And I think Piketty was very right, and your interpretation of this thing is also very
Isn't it? So,
adequate.
And for instance, some time ago, you all remember, I don't have to name names, there was a huge headline-grabbing wedding that took place.
Yes.
And a lot of celebrities came.
I know. Almost everyone was there.
I saw a social media post once during those days. Somebody posted the e-invitation of that wedding, which is they've digitized the invitation and put it. That invitation itself probably would have cost a few lakhs of rupees. It's made of precious metal, and then you have to so many things, and so many things are put into that imitation kit and all that. And then there was a small remark by the person who posted it saying that look at how obscene display of wealth. Now, the story doesn't end there. And you must see the comments below. There are hundreds of comments. And most of them, overwhelming majority of them, who are care to comment, what's your problem?
What's your problem?
What's your problem? He earned and he spent. And he is earned because he is smart. Because he knew how to invest well. And don't miss out that because they are spending so much money, it in turn is creating so much of economic benefits to a lot of drivers, a lot of cooks, and a lot of servants, a lot of textile mills, clothing, fuel. So much of downstream economic activity that wedding is generating. And that is the kind of arguments you see, which means that they are not only tolerating inequality, they're actually aspiring or they're celebrating, promoting and celebrating inequality, saying that inequality is ultimately good. Equality will get you nowhere. This is the kind of narrative that is now gaining popularity among some sections. Okay. Now, what does it have? What kind of a political implications does it have? What kind of a cultural, sociological implications does that have? If you accept that, then you would also accept inequality in your society.
Inequality is natural. It's very natural and
necessary. And you celebrate inequality. But you see, the point is this. Often, when I go and discuss with people, they say, do you think all religions are equal? Do you think all languages are equal? But Paresh, let me ask you, is your mother great? Is she? Is your mother great?
Okay.
She is great. My mother is also great.
Yes.
Tell me, is your mother great or my mother great?
This is a nonsensical question.
Isn't it? Both mothers can be great.
Great.
There is no need for your mother to be greater
than
my mother, or my mother to be greater than your mother. So, your mother is great for you, my mother is great for you. Similarly, your religion is great for you and my religion is great for me.
Absolutely.
Your language is great for you and my language is great for me.
Absolutely.
Why can't I say or accept your religion is great for you, my religion is great for me? That is secularism. Secularism the state doesn't sit on judgment and tell you this religion is great or that religion is not great, this religion and that religion are equal. No, it is not judging
It's
at
not
all.
a question of equality. It is not a judgment. It is not
the state's role here in a secular country, in a secular state is this. The state doesn't sit on judgment whether this is great or that is great. It doesn't even say these are two equal. It has no business. It has no mind to say that.
It just accept it as it is.
More than that is whether you practice that religion or this religion, whether you speak that language or this language. We are equal, not those. It has no opinion on those languages and religions.
But as individual, citizen.
Yes.
Whichever actually faith you belong to,
yes.
That doesn't mean, but then as citizen.
Exactly. As a citizen, it doesn't matter in whose womb you are born, which tongue you speak, whether you pray turning to east or you pray turning to the west. Doesn't matter. To me, as a state, both of you are equal. So equality is that. Equality is not sitting on judgment on religions or languages or practices. No. And these variations that I have spoken about, celebration of inequality and efforts to eliminate inequality or reduce the inequality to the minimum, if not elimination. This is the main clash today that is happening. One school of thought is celebrate inequality. The other school of thought is no, we should eliminate inequality as much as possible. Now, if you are offering me a choice, would you choose somebody who celebrates inequality, or would you choose somebody who is against inequality but probably is not able to eliminate it?
Eliminate it.
I would always choose people who are trying to eliminate inequality but probably are not succeeding, but I would help them to succeed rather than
To the other extreme.
other extreme of people who celebrate inequality. I think India is facing that question now. And that can be worked back into economy, culture, religion, language, everything. Everything that is there in the public domain today.
And you have actually beautifully analyzed it. You have given a different, actually it's not different. You have given a reading of secularism, a different reading of secularism. Actually, this is very insightful and it's very interesting. Now, I come to my next, and this is my last question. Maybe there might be one or two supplementary here. Now, under the circumstances what we have already discussed, my mind goes again and again to the challenges facing our nation today. These are the challenges you have already described. Like any concerned citizen, I want to understand the maladies in true perspective. That is why we are discussing these things. But I just cannot stop there. I also want a way out from this trap and mess. How do you like to respond to this thing? Yesterday also you said something, but then it's a different interview. So,
Paresh, it's this. We've understood the problem. We've understood the different paths that are open now, and different ideas that are clashing now. And one idea, one perspective seemingly gaining ground and also threatening to overwhelm and completely change the character of Indian nation, the character of Indian state. What do we do? First of all, we need to have a clear understanding of the challenges, which of course we talked about. And others can have probably much more insightful ways of understanding the challenges. However, the point is that there has to be a resolve to arrest this trend and to roll it back. How do we do that? My appeal to everybody who is watching this, who would discuss these things, is that please abandon the spectator syndrome. Please abandon spectator syndrome. Don't be an onlooker. Participate. Take a side. There is no role called a bystander role in this. You have to intervene. The civil society has to intervene. It has to make a demand on the political system that we want India to be this and not that. We want India which aspires to be a just India, aspires to be an equal India, aspires to be a fraternal India, aspires to be a secular India, aspires to give liberty to its citizens. And if you do not make these demands with feet on the ground, your political system will not respond to it. Your political parties will not respond to it. In order for a political party to respond to this has to be made clear, articulated clearly, voiced as loudly as possible, which calls for collective action. And I'm fond of saying, to put it very strongly, please do not outsource these tasks of voicing, of demanding, of articulating, of pressuring to political parties. I don't mean that leave political parties aside. I'm not saying that. You co-opt political parties, but I think political parties will listen to you. They'll have to listen to you if the ground demands. If the ground demands that you work for equality, otherwise you won't get the vote, they'll work for equality. They work for justice. They work for fraternity. If you are indifferent to it, if you don't talk about this, if you don't articulate this, if you don't demand, why will they? So, I think we should understand that political parties are creatures of civil society's opinion. They respond to it. They have to survive, and if they have to survive, they have to respond to this. So, without civil society action, without civil society organizing, without civil society demanding, without civil society sharply articulating these demands, it is not possible to solve these contradictions, one. And secondly, again, let me repeat, I think we all ought to abandon the bystander, spectator role. This is the only solution.
This is this is, I think, very, very important. That to wait for somebody to come and do protect your democracy, reclaim democracy for you, that shouldn't be that will not happen. Every one of us, that is what you have called civil society. Civil society means all kinds of association groups and things. So no spectator's role, no outsourcing. Take an active part in it. So you don't enjoy that privilege that you could be a spectator. You don't enjoy that privilege that you could actually wait somebody else to do your job.
Yes.
It's not going to happen. Really. I think that's a very strong message and correct message. And now I'll end this discussion. This is not a very vital questions I'm going to ask you, but still, I said that this regime, we critique them, we say all kinds of things against them, but we should also not make particularly two individuals responsible for this. One, I would say Chandrababu Naidu. Another, I would say Nitish Kumar. Because this will come down if these two persons don't support this regime.
Of course, I mean, you are right in a way, yes. The present government is there in office only because these two parties and these two individuals, the leaders, have decided to support them. Even after that, when we analyze the 2024 mandate with empirical evidence, we came to the conclusion that 79 seats across 15 states have changed hands because of the electoral malpractice.
Malpractice.
So,
Even the mandate is manufactured.
mandate is stolen. It's a stolen mandate on which this regime is sitting now.
And still they are behaving like
including the two supporters that you're talking about. With all that, today they are 294 or something like that. With all this, 293, 294. You take out 80, 79.
just they don't
They're somewhere at about 214, 215.
where they cannot form the government.
Exactly. That is one. The second thing is the non-NDA are now about 240 or so. Add the
Those
79,
Plus.
it comes to about 313.
Picture very clear.
Absolutely. So the mandate is stolen, and the government is sitting on a stolen mandate, including the two supporters that you talked about. And that is the reason why, from a stage in our democratic life where the voters chose the government, voters decided who should be in government, now they want to turn it around and the government is deciding who should be the voter. So that with a stolen mandate much more effortlessly, they can implement this kind of a agenda without any interruption, without any challenge.
Making the electoral process and the election totally meaningless and irrelevant.
Absolutely.
I think the take from this interview is very clear that we just cannot be spectators. We just cannot remain silent. We have to take an active part. We have to intervene.
Yes.
With these words, I do not know how to thank you for this interview, because I'm sure the viewers, when they will listen to this interview, then they will only be able to judge it, how clearly, how beautifully you have explained everything. I'm really, I am honored, I must say, and it's really my privilege to take this interview with you in this open atmosphere. I'm really, really thankful and grateful to you.
Thank you very much, Paresh.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Namaskar. Namaskar.